afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Wednesday lunch segment. Thank you for joining us wherever you've come along from, whether it's in Swan Hill or somewhere much wider than Swan Hill, around the city, the state, the country, the world. Thank you so much. And we have three people here today. We have Pastor Lamont, thank you very much, and we have Phoebe.
Yay,
Hello,
Phoebe.
good to be here. Phoebe is at the moment, from Perth.
Yes.
And she's part of the leading group with YWAM that are over here at the moment. They're here for 10 days, which has nearly come to an end.
Yeah.
And she's going to tell us a little bit more about what they've been up to and how long they've been away from Perth and all that sort of thing very, very shortly. But for now, we have a few announcements, a little bit of catch up of what's been going on,
Yes,
what's
we have.
coming up, all that sort of thing.
Yep.
So,
Can I fire away with the first thing?
fire away, please.
Yeah.
Let's
We
go.
had a smashing Sunday last Sunday.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah. But we had our community appreciation Sunday where we invited some of our frontline services and first responders to come to our church. And it was wonderful having them here.
Yes.
They really honored us by being here. And I could have preached on the creating a culture of honor. So watch that on our YouTube channel if you have not watched it yet. Lovely to have them here. And afterwards, Pastor Jody, we had our community fundraising.
We
Yes.
did, and that was really great. I was really blown away by the amount of giving that our church community actually does. There was mainly our church community and not that many from the outside community. So when you think about that, we actually still just trying to get the last few little bits and pieces nutted out as far as money goes, but it looks like we made a profit of about $2,200. So thank you so much, guys. That is amazing.
Yeah.
And we really do have such a beautiful giving church. So that will all go towards our Christmas hampers that we will then bless in the community later on in the year. So that was wonderful. Thank you also to all the people that helped, all the people that set up, all the people that ran stalls, all the businesses that donated goods for the silent auction, our lovely YWAM team that spent hours setting up that maze for us. And then it came down in about 15 minutes. I couldn't believe it. All Saturday it took to set up, down in 15 minutes.
It was very fun though. It was worth it. For the joy on people's faces was worth it. Yes.
Yes. So it was a wonderful day, and it was really, really lovely just to see the church community coming together again after not being able to get together last year. And that was worth everything. That was just little warm and fuzzy feelings. And,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So another thing that are coming up, and I think more important to somebody else on this team that's here today, would be Pastor Jody, that will be going on leave in less than 4 hours from now.
Oh, wow.
You're cutting down the hours.
Less than 4 hours from now. And she will be returning on the 13th of June. I hope that you have a wonderful time away, Jody.
Thank you.
And enjoy a time of rest. You have worked hard the last couple of weeks. And can I just say officially, as your senior pastor, I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
You
It's
always
been a lot
work
of
hard.
fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the work, and I ask the church also appreciate the work that Pastor Jody does here, and especially she loves the community engagement and reaching out to people. She has a heart for the community, and it's wonderful to see her in action sometimes, really passionate, pumped up to do the work in this community, and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I want the world, as you say, not just Swan Hill, but the world to know that.
Thank you. And yeah, it is my passion, the community, and doing things for the community. It gets the adrenaline going, and yeah, I love the community.
Yes. When it's your passion, the adrenaline will go.
Yep,
Yes.
definitely.
So while she's away on holiday, somebody else will have to stand guard at the door, and that most probably will be me. So I have decided I need some encouragement to do that. So this coming Sunday, I'm going to preach on encouragement. Encourage one another. So this will be one sermon that I'll be preaching on that. But next month, I will be preaching on a way more wider topic. I'm going to talk on the principles of emotional health and managing stress the biblical way. Jesus somehow gave us wonderful guidelines on how we can live in a stressful time with peace in our hearts. And that's what I want to share with you during the month of June. So I want to invite you to either come to church or watch online, but be a part of a small group even where you can have a discussion. Join a growth group or join a host group that will be talking about discussion questions, which I will work out around this series, and you can have a wonderful time of fellowship and discussion on how you can deal with these struggles in your life. So that being said, maybe this Sunday, the last couple of about 2-3 weeks ago, I asked you for 2 or 3 consecutive Sundays, as a church community, what do you think the values of the Grain Shed would be? Core values. And I got lots of response. So what I'm going to do this coming Sunday, I've tried to condense that, try to reshape the words so that it must be a little bit clearer. So I'm going to share what you have told me, what the values you would like to see in this church to be the heart of our congregation. So come on this coming Sunday, and I will share that with you. So maybe just a small thing, it's a bit more community-wise. On the 4th of June, the Anglican Church had the installation of the new minister. So if you are friends or family in the, not the Anglican, the Uniting Church. Sorry, Jody, the Uniting Church, the Anglican Church. My son is in the Anglican Church. So when we open our mouths, it's either this church or the Anglican Church. Now it is the Uniting Church. So I spoke to Tony Waldron also the other day, and they are very excited about having their new minister.
Beautiful.
And the new minister will be installed on the 4th of June, and he will be stationed in Kerrang. So he will serve this area, Swan Hill, Kerrang, and other congregations, smaller communities, but he will live in the Mans, I think, in Kerrang. So if you have family in the Uniting Church and you want to support that new pastor, we invite you to join that service. For more information, you can contact the Uniting Church for when and how late. Yep.
Fantastic.
Yes, it is.
So there's still things going on. It just
Yes.
doesn't stop.
Yes. Praise God. There's going to be more ministers in the town.
Yes. So with that all said and done, we're going to ask Phoebe a few questions now, and we have asked her to come here. So thank you very much for coming, Phoebe.
Yeah, good to be here.
And share a little bit about what they've been up to. And you will notice when Phoebe starts talking a little bit more that she's not quite Aussie yet.
No. I've been here for 6 years, but originally I'm from the United States. So my accent is pretty strong. I had hopes that it would change a bit more, but it hasn't. That's okay. But I have picked up a few of the Aussie slang words. So
Beautiful.
brekkie, things like that. Yeah.
It just shortened everything.
Exactly. I love it. Yeah.
So Phoebe, we were just talking before, and you were saying that you're away from Perth for 11 weeks.
Yes.
So tell me how that plays out.
Yeah. So I am one of the leaders for Discipleship Training School, which is an entry-level course for youth with the mission. I'm based in Perth, and we have 13 students total, but we split into 2 teams. We had a lecture phase in Perth for 3 months where we talked about things like God's Father heart, hearing God's voice, quiet times, and then for 11 weeks we go on a practical outreach, and our team has gone to Tasmania, to Warragul, down close to Melbourne, and then Swan Hill. And then we'll go on to Adelaide and Port Augusta after this. So it's been a bit of a whirlwind, just amazing. Meeting with the body of Christ around Australia, it's been really amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And you drove across from
We
Perth.
did.
And
So
some of these people aren't used to Australian distances.
well, some are from Australia, but haven't had to travel for many days. So it's been a new experience. But it was 4.5 days to get over to Warragul from Perth. But really great. We loved it. It was beautiful. We camped under the stars, got to meet people along the way. So really special. Yeah. A beautiful nation. So.
And I imagine being in a close group like that would actually bond the group even more by doing that sort of thing.
Yeah. it actually has. We installed radios before we left so that we can communicate as we're on the road. So that also, even though we're in our vehicles and we're bonding that way, we stop and we have meals together. We're also talking on the radios if we see anything really beautiful or exciting, playing I Spy sometime, things like that. So kind of just to continue to be together even though we're in 3 separate vehicles. So
Fantastic.
yeah.
And so tell us a bit about what you've been doing in Swan Hill.
Yes, we have been so grateful to be here. We worked with 4 different churches when we've been here. So we've gone to growth groups, we've gone to prayer meetings, church services. We helped with the Sunday, Family Sunday here, which it was really fun to create the maze and run that. We got lost ourselves creating it, which was really funny. And that's when you know Jody has made a good maze, is when you get lost, when you're making it. We've done a lot of intercession, prayer walking around the town, just hearing God and praying for the town, praying for the church and Christian leaders specifically, where COVID has been a bit of a challenge and there's been a lot that's impacted the church over the last year. And then evangelism, so going out and just sharing with people. Yesterday, actually, someone gave their life to Jesus,
Praise God.
which is really cool. Yeah. So one of the students on our team, she led someone to Jesus, and they're going to have a Bible study today. So really exciting. Those are the moments that you get super excited for.
That is great.
Yeah, but people have been very open. So we've talked with them and done evangelism. Very open to prayer, having conversations about God, hearing our testimony. So it's been really good.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just on a personal note, what made you decide to come to Australia?
Good question. I was studying in Chicago. I was studying in uni, and my closest friend was actually from South Africa, from Joburg. Yeah. So we were best friends, and she had done a gap year prior to coming to uni and did a discipleship training school in Perth. So I'd never heard of Perth before. I knew about Sydney. You hear about that as an American, but not necessarily Perth. But something stuck with me as she was talking to me about what she had experienced, how she knew Jesus, the way that she talked about God. It was like she knew him personally. And I had grown up in the church, but for me, there was this hunger of, man, I don't have the same depth, but I want it, and it's available for me, and I want to do something that would position me to go deeper with God. So I graduated uni, and I came to Perth, to Australia, to do discipleship training school. God did amazing things in terms of breaking off shame, bringing healing, speaking purpose and identity. And part of that was calling me back to do missions full time. I, in uni, went to a Christian uni, and I did 4 different missions trips. And I was always drawn to missions, but it just hadn't clued in yet. But that's what I loved. I was considering medicine, so I went on this medical missions trip, and I didn't necessarily love the medical side. My favorite side was sharing with people about Jesus. It was in Bolivia, and anyway, God just began to show me, hey, Phoebe, this is actually a passion of your heart. This is what I've made you for, and you're meant to be a light to the nations. And so there was just this moment of, man, this is what God's called me to. And whatever that looks like, wherever that is, I want to be a part of it. And specifically, I felt God call me to train up disciples within the next generation, to be ones that love him and obey him and follow him with their whole hearts. And that's what I've been involved in the last 6 years.
Wow.
Wonderful.
That is just such a testimony. Such a testimony to so many people. And for people to just really listen to what God's trying to tell them and to follow that. Like you said, you thought medicine was where you were going, but actually God had something else in mind for you.
Yeah.
And I've just got goosebumps.
Oh, wow.
That is really, really just something that people can really take hold of, especially young people. You may have one thing in mind that you want to do, but never close off the fact that God may have something else in mind for you.
Yeah.
You go one direction, God changes that direction.
That's it. Yes. Yes.
And it's so good. I look back and I'm so grateful. I don't have any regrets. I'm 28 now, almost 29. So I spent most of my 20s in missions, and I'm so grateful.
Powerful years.
It's it's really been, I've come to know God in such deeper ways. I've gone to nations I never knew existed, and places I never knew existed, and it's been amazing. So
And you're impacting people's lives, like you said yesterday. Your group led someone to Jesus. That's not just your impacting today, that's their eternal life.
which is so cool.
And yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
I love
That's
that.
wonderful. Yep. Yep. Phoebe, thank you so much for joining with us today. We really appreciate the time you've taken out.
Thank
and we've
you.
loved having you around and joining in the groups and the help you've given to everyone. Some of our families, it's been wonderful to have you guys here. And we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Many blessings for the future.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you guys so much for having us. We really appreciated it. And we felt so welcomed. So thank you, both
Yeah.
Pastor Lamont, Pastor Jody. Jan was helping with that. We're so, so grateful. So thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
No, thank you for joining us today, Phoebe. I appreciate that. Yeah, really great having you here.
Thank you.
And my prayer is that you will have a safe trip and that Adelaide will know Christ.
Amen.
Because the
Yes.
YWAMers will be there. And no,
Amen.
yes. Thank you also to thank you to Pastor Jody
Thank you.
joining me with this segment. And we thank you for joining us
Yeah.
online. And I have been listening to a little birdie singing a tune that says that some small groups listen to this Wednesday segment to keep the whole small group in touch with what's happening around the grain shed. So if you have a small group and you would like to share this 10, 12 minutes with them as an intro to keep you in the loop of what's happening around the grain shed, it would be wonderful.
Yep.
So our prayer is that you will have a wonderful day and may God bless you richly and enjoy, and we'll see you maybe on Sunday. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.